the glutes haven't changed in the last 100 years. They're still glutes.
I even had this chat the other day and I was like, I don't even know if I want kids.
This is some toxic shit. Oh. God. All right. Episode 3.
Yeah.
So much has happened in the last 2 weeks. It's actually crazy. The Instagram's nearly at 200K, which has just happened. Like, we literally filmed the 100K episode just a few weeks ago, and it's nearly at 200K now. I reckon it'll be at 200K by the time this is live in a few days. What else? You had your surgery. You're all recovered now.
Yeah, all recovered. We just got a sauna put in. So Jackson's been using that. I have to still wait a week or so to be able to use the sauna, but that's okay.
Yeah. I kind of feel like guilty. I mean, I was in there last night. We got like a proper, if you want to see a video, just head to the Instagram. I've got one of those broadcast channels. A few people are in like that group channel DM thing, whatever they are. And I've got some videos and photos of the sauna set up. But like, we got like a full custom deck, crazy traditional sauna with the hot rocks. Like, we could have got one of the infrared ones, like just in the home gym. But I'm like, no, I want it to be like I'm in Bali. I want like a vibe to it.
There's something about putting the water on the rocks and being like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah,
this is
like,
hectic.
It's legit. Like, it feels legit. So I did a sauna last night, did a sauna this morning, and fucking hell, like, I had a broken nose many years ago from boxing when I was very young, and I've always had like kind of breathing problems. But coming out of the sauna, my nose just felt so good, and I slept good last night. And then this morning, I basically did sunrise in the sauna, and then Honey came up to the front of the sauna and she was nudging on it because she couldn't see through, but she somehow knew I was in there. Did you tell her?
No, I just put her out. And
she's like, somehow knew I was in the sauna.
I could see her looking at you because I was wondering where you were. And I was like, you had your door closed. And I was like, oh, he can't have gone back to bed.
I didn't want any of the cold air to come in.
Yeah. And then I walked outside and I was like, oh, he's in the sauna. And she's just like looking at you like, why can't I get in?
And I'm like, I took a video on this broadcast channel and I was like, I can't let you in because fry your little brain.
Yeah. Even when she nudges the door, I'm like, I wonder if the door is like really hot.
She just knows.
And she'll just burn her nose a little bit.
Like, she's been seeing it getting built. But anyway, it's amazing. And I've had like buyer's remorse from buying cars or buying expensive tech stuff. Like, we bought this super expensive TV, and it's like, it's good because I like watch the footy and movies and stuff, but it was over the top. It's not necessary. But this, no regrets. Amazing, proper traditional sauna, sits 6 people, but more like 4 people very comfortably. And I just can't wait to have friends and family over, and just like, that's the thing, I want to buy things that I can share the experience with people.
Yeah.
You know
and I think we were talking about this with buying materialistic things.
Yeah.
Like, for you, it's more experiences and trips away where you get the most benefit.
Snowboarding tomorrow. By the time this is out, I'll be snowboarding. I'll be fucking down there hitting my fucking head and falling on my ass because I haven't snowboarded in a while. So that'll be fun, but really, really interesting. But something that you like, so we're going to get onto a heap of Q&As, and this whole episode is actually about Ellesha. So last episode, I did a lot of talking because a lot of you send in these questions that are more sciencey, fitnessy questions. And I'm actually a certified trainer. I've been the trainer my whole life. A lot of people think Ellesha's a trainer, but she knows a lot, actually. She's very knowledgeable and she's got herself in really good shape, but she's not the certified trainer. That's me. So I've been answering a lot of those, and I thought, you know what, let's do a whole episode on Ellesha. So once we finish with some life updates, and Ellesha's going to chat about this show she's been watching. I can't wait to talk about it. But once we finish with that, we have some really interesting and spicy questions for Ellesha, and she hasn't read them, so I've got them and I will be asking her. So that's kind of life updates wise. But you've been watching this new fucking show that's on Netflix or whatever non-stop, and every time I sit down and watch it, it triggers me to be like, this is some toxic shit. So tell everyone what it's about.
Yeah, so it's a new show on Netflix called the
Dallas, Texas Cowboys or something?
Texas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So I think it's like the American Sweethearts, Texas Dallas cheerleaders or something like that. Anyway, and I saw one of my friends started watching it, and I was like, oh, what is this? I was like, I'll just chuck it on because I've already gone and done Bridgerton now. So I was like, I need a new show.
Ellesha just loves, like,
I'm a binger.
she's
So
a big binger.
with food, with the shows, Netflix, everything. So I saw
Loves
this
the
and I
drama.
was like, oh, this looks interesting. So I started playing it and I couldn't believe it. Hey, it's pretty hectic. Like, I don't know if anyone else is watching it right now, but for me, it kind of triggered me a little bit. And
A little
what
bit.
these girls,
I was in there for 5 minutes and they're like, your stomach looks a bit pudgy. And she's like, lean, healthy
Yeah.
young girl. Oh, I don't like the way your hair is. Like this. So what it is I'll frame it so then you can discuss it for anyone who hasn't seen it. I'm sure all these girls have seen it because it's going viral. But basically, we have a coach who is, they're going through and choosing the people to be in the cheerleading squad for the NFL team, this big famous college kind of like...
the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys. So you don't always get your spot as a cheerleader. And I don't think they get paid fuck all.
So yeah, every year they choose 36 girls. Sometimes they go over 37, 38, but they've cut it to 36. And you see the audition process and what they go through. And yeah, they really don't get paid much at all. I think it was like $30 per game. But for them, it's like just a privilege to be able to cheer in this group.
Everyone in America who's interested in dancing or cheerleading, the Dallas Cowboys is the top.
Yeah.
Like that's the best cheerleading squad from what this show is saying. And it looks like that too. Like these girls are obsessed to even be a part of the squad that could be chosen, and the sacrifices they make is crazy. But the bit that's so hectic is that Netflix is allowing this show. I'm sure they just want to Netflix is smart. They want things to go viral, but they're allowing this show to go on with like proper triggering for people with eating disorders or body dysmorphia. But it's like proper like power manipulation the whole time from this chick who's like the judge and the coach.
But also they do go back in time and they really haven't changed much. I think it started in like the 1990s or maybe the 80s.
Yeah.
And even back then they show some old footage of one of the coaches of the girls, and you know, there's a little short clip of, you know, everyone has their hands out and she's like, let me look at all your nails. She's like, no one's allowed to be a nail biter because when you're signing autographs and they see that, that's disgusting. Everyone needs to have perfect nails and perfect hair and makeup all the time. Like you need
no
to
belly
always...
fat, not even a little bit of pudge.
Yeah.
Because they wear these really tight, tiny, short shorts, and they're throwing their kicks up in the air over their head, and it's like they're actually pretty crazy athletes. Like a lot of them come from like proper dance schools and professional dance, and this is like the pinnacle for them. And they're like, they must be like crazy counting calories. Like when they were ordering their coffee order from Starbucks.
Oh yeah, I don't know if this is I think it's a normal thing in America because here the coffee is just so different. Like for me, I am just like a latte on oat or almond milk. So when they showed this one, it was like they were at Starbucks or something, and it was like...
She said like 9 words for a coffee order. It was crazy.
It was like a cappuccino with a dash of caramel with 2 sweeteners with some...
Stevia packet. It's like all this other stuff too.
I was like, what?
I'm sure this is pretty, for our American listeners, they're probably like, this is pretty normal. Like you go through Starbucks and you've got like, you read out like your fucking 17-page essay and they're like, yep, that's the right one.
Yeah, I'm just like...
But you've binged this show, like it's got you.
Yeah.
So as much as we're saying that this show's like hectic, it's got Ellesha. Like, and I, you know, those boyfriends that come in while the girl's watching something, and you're like, this show's so silly, but then you lean in and you're like, what's happening? Who's this chick's name? Like,
yeah,
it's so funny. Like,
it was so hectic. So hectic.
Yeah. Other life updates. People. Well, one of the questions is something to do with this, but one thing I want to start is like after your breast augmentation surgery, I call it tit job surgery, whatever.
Yeah.
You had to fully rest, and you done one workout. Like we've been walking every day, every morning and afternoon. You're back doing like light lower body workouts. Mm-hmm. But like when it comes to like housework and carrying things and shopping, you're back to like, you're like at 80-90% already. And it's only been what? 3
weeks.
3 weeks? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know if I'm meant to, but
No, you
everything
are.
feels okay, like carrying the shopping and stuff in. So why not? You
All
know?
right. Anything else? Any updates?
I reckon we get into it.
All right. And do I start from the top or the bottom?
Whatever.
All right. Let's go. Best workout leggings.
Oh, keep that pump.
Yeah, keep that pump.
So we've got some keep that pump coming on their way. So
we're
some
meant
trackies.
we're meant to be wearing it right now.
Yeah.
But they didn't send it in time. It would have been sick. Would have been having matching trackies on and stuff.
Yeah.
We've been chatting with Keep That Pump about doing, because Ellesha, and first of all, the only reason I replied back to them, because we get asked by so many brands to do like a Booty by Jack's range. And I know all of you say to me all the time, when are you going to bring out your own like BBL looking booty shorts or leggings or Booty by Jack style like clothing and merchandise and whatnot? And it's like, if we were to do it on our own, it would take so much time and money to find a good person, and we have to order like hundreds of it and send it out, and it just wouldn't do it right. Like it would take us a long time, and it would be really expensive to sell. So we've been kind of open to the right clothing brand that's already doing really good stuff. And Ellesha has tried. She's bought so many different leggings and different brands, and she tried some Keep That Pump, and her ass looked insane. It looked so good in it, and better than, or obviously it already looks good. It's not going to make someone with no ass look like amazing, but they're really good. They looked insane, and the stitching and the way that the fitment on your waistline, and it was just really good. So when they said, would you be interested in doing like your own line? And we're still in the early talks of it, so I probably can't really talk much about it, but we're really keen on that. But we're just going to test more of their stuff, wear more of their stuff. So yeah, best leggings, Keep That Pump.
Keep that pump. Ect are really good. What else? I think that's it from them too, if you want the real booty ones. I do like a bit of crop shop boutique as well. Yeah, good.
All right, the question that you get asked a lot, do you want kids?
Oh my God, I get this question so many times. I feel like there's such a pressure. Like soon as you get married, it's like, when are you having kids? When are you having kids? Jackson and I have had this talk, and for us, it's a no pressure thing. So we're not planning to have kids, but if it happens, it happens. But I even had this chat the other day, and I was like, I don't even know if I want kids.
I feel like we're a little bit more like old school, I suppose, where like I'm starting to just like make jokes about it now in like a fully natural way, where I'm like, we're fucking, we're fucking. If that's what you're asking, people like act like you just like, you like what? You obviously you have contraceptive or whatever, but no contraceptives, we're fucking. If it happens, it happens. But we're not like, Alicia's not telling me like, okay, in 2 days, I'll be at my max like cycle or whatever. You know how people who are obsessed with kids, and that's fine. Yeah. They're planning for it. I get it. They think they're on a timeline. But what I can tell you is, I know Alicia was meant to answer this, but I think we've had this conversation, and I say it this way, and it just helps people realize. People say that your eggs start like getting lower as you get older. Yes. But if you're healthy and you're fit, there's people that have kids in their late 30s, late 40s, even 50s. And obviously at 50, okay, the chances are lower. But you're only like 31, 32, you're young. You're so young and you're healthy. And we're busy. We have a really busy business that we're focused on. We have a new puppy that I know she's like 1.5 years, but like we're just so happy in our life right now.
Yeah.
We're not trying to look to add more in. We're just trying to be really happy with what we have right now.
Yeah. So that pretty much answers it.
Yeah, and if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
How do you get past period pains in the gym?
Oh, I feel like my period pain isn't as bad as what it was like a few years ago. I don't know. It's not too bad. Hey, like I think I do complain about it, don't I? When I'm at the gym, and I just go lighter.
You don't usually complain too much at the gym. It's just usually certain times throughout your cycle of whatever you want to fancy call it, when you have your period, where you don't really feel like being around people, and you don't really feel like super motivated, like you want to go crazy and train really hard?
Yeah, I think for me, I just go lighter in the workout and I only go there for like 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I just don't put pressure on myself.
Yeah. We've got a plane going over. Okay, so yeah, periods. It's like, it definitely affects you more like all over, not just a gym thing. And when I say all over, I mean like all throughout your life, as in your home life, like work schedule, like it just becomes a bit more of a barrier for you. Like if you get to the gym and you train, even if you have your period, you still do a decent session, but you were saying that you probably do a little bit lower weight and you just take it easy and just get through it.
Yep. So I don't put pressure on myself and I just do the best I can that day. And then tomorrow's another day.
I love that. How good. Oh, we've got a bit of a lock up here. What's going on? All right. How can you be in a calorie surplus but not gain in the stomach area, and plus any gut health tips?
Gut health tips. Oh, just making a diary of what makes you feel good and what doesn't. I feel like that helped heaps. It actually took me a couple of years to figure out what was triggering my stomach with certain foods, and still to this day I'll push it, and it does come out in my skin. I have noticed, like chocolate, etc. Like I love it, but yeah, it
Sugar.
comes out. Yeah.
Yeah, sugar seems to be a bit of inflammation, and that's like certain fast, when I say fast carbs, like without me being too scientific, people kind of know what's an unhealthy carb.
Yeah.
Like if you have a banana or an apple or whatever and you have that after your workout, it's an amazing time because your body's like wants carbohydrates after you train or before you train. But if you're smashing bags of lollies and chocolate and you're having sugary drinks and stuff, like you got to have inflammation, and it's going to travel into areas, and everyone's different. Like I get like kind of pimples on my back or back of my arms, or I just feel really like I get back pain and I feel really like low energy. But Ellesha gets it around her face, on her cheeks and her jawline and stuff. And you just got to be aware of it.
Yeah. And what was...
how can you be in a calorie surplus but not gain in the stomach area? I'll answer this.
I feel like you...
Yeah,
need
because
to
it's a bit
answer
more
this.
scientific.
Yeah.
You can't spot reduce body fat, and you also can't also like gain a heap of fat all over and not wanting it to be in your stomach area. But some tips for this is to actually not be in a high calorie surplus. So if you want to build muscle, that's why you want to be in a calorie surplus probably, and you don't want to gain fat in your stomach, only be in a slight calorie surplus. So I would say find your maintenance, where your maintenance calories means the amount of calories and macros you eat day to day to actually maintain your weight spot on. Obviously women, especially females, they have a fluctuation throughout the day and day to day. But what you do is you get your average weight over like a week or two. And if you keep eating and your weight's the same or around the same, then what you're eating is what we call maintenance calories. Now, if you're struggling to build muscle at that calories, then you want to add in a few hundred, maybe 200 or 300 calories on top of that. Again, you need to get a personalized approach and have a look at actually doing our personalized meal plans and programs, because if you're someone who's really light, 300 calories is a lot, but if you're someone that's heavier, 300 calories is not that much. I hope that makes sense. So this advice is very like a blanket statement. Basically, don't be in a crazy surplus, and try not to eat just like shitty high carb foods all the time at nighttime before you go to bed, all throughout the day, because your body's going to store that as fat if you're in a surplus. So take your lean building program or meal plan slowly build muscle without gaining too much body fat, without gaining any body fat at all. And then you'll know, okay, I've built enough muscle, I want to go back to maintenance, or I want to do a slight cut for summer. It's simple for me, probably quite advanced for you listening to it, but it's something that we do for our clients, and we can do it for you if it sounds really confusing. Otherwise, you can kind of research your own, what's a calorie surplus, maintenance, deficit, etc. All right. What are your main exercises to build that top shelf? Loving you guys, so inspiring.
Top shelf exercises. I love cable abduction or hip abduction, side lying hip raise, Bulgarians on the Smith machine. I've been liking them. I think that's really it for a top shelf for me.
RDLs.
Oh, yeah.
So I entered this in a voice message on Instagram recently, and I explained that the top shelf isn't a separate muscle. So everyone online is trying to make out that you have like a top shelf of your glutes, a middle or lower, and you got all the sides, and you do actually have a small side muscles, but the upper and the lower glutes is the glute max. Now you can slightly change your exercises to give that upper area more stimulation. But at the end of the day, if you want a better top shelf, you just need bigger glutes. So do the exercises that give you a good pump and that you get stronger in, like focus on progressive overload. I would add in like hip extension, back extension machine, hip thrust. I would do some type of split squat or a Bulgarian. I would do a squat. I would do a step up, and then I would hit the side glutes with some cable abduction, some side lying hip raise, or a seated hip abduction. That way you're hitting the whole glutes, but you're also, don't get too focused on trying to do weird exercises that you see online instead of doing the basics that actually work, because that's always worked. The glutes haven't changed in the last 100 years. They're still glutes. Any opinion on ladies like myself who do not see a big difference on our bodies?
I think progress takes time. Like, you know, in the gym and stuff, sometimes it takes, and it depends how consistent you are. But give yourself at least 6 months.
You're pretty hard on yourself with this.
Yeah.
Like I'll notice, like after you've come to me and said, okay, I want to get dedicated, I've noticed that I'm slightly out of shape, or like I'm not loving what I look like in the mirror. I don't love myself at the current moment. I don't want to go in a bikini, blah, blah. We'll dedicate to something. And then in about 5 or 6 weeks time, I'll see a difference, but you won't see it. And you'll start getting a bit like, what's the point of all this work if I'm not going to see a difference? It's like, I think other people will see a difference before you will. And you'll always, when you see yourself in the mirror naked or in a bikini, whatever, you're always going to go straight to the areas that you don't like. When everybody else is going to look at the whole thing, step back from it. Don't be zoomed in on this little bit of body fat on your stomach or a little bit of cellulite or stretch marks or whatever. People aren't looking at that. They look at the silhouette and go, oh, that's really beautiful, curvy girl. You look really great, you know, and you can always make progress on that. But that's, I think, a weakness for a lot of people. Like, stop focusing on the negatives and focus on things like, are you getting stronger? Are you getting better on the Stairmaster, or are you getting more steps in each day? Like, focus on the positive things and keep being a positive reinforcement on yourself, and you'll eventually look amazing. How long did it take to finally start seeing results in the gym?
Well, for me, I've always been in like a yo-yo gym person. So I've never really been like a fully committed 100% consistent with like my eating and workout together. So for me, I think I've been doing the gym stuff for 3 years or something, but it's been inconsistent. So
like, you've been back and forth from training in the gym for a long time, for more than 3 years, probably like 6, 7 years. But then she's had like 6 months of like no training and just told me, I'm not a gym girl. I'm not interested in the gym anymore. And I have to go, okay, like I can't force you. But I always say to her, like, I always say to you, like, you know that it's easier to maintain than go back and forth. And this is a thing that I try to tell people and our clients all the time. It's like, people sign up, they get amazing results in the 8-week challenge, and then they cancel after, which is fair enough. I totally understand. You look great. And they come back, and sometimes they're in a position where they have to get all those results again. And I'm like, if you just went on to a maintenance phase, you could maintain what you and just add to it.
Yep.
So for you see results within like literally 4 to 5 weeks. Like, your body responds so quickly. I always say to Ellesha, you have amazing genetics, but the people that sometimes have good genetics, they can be a little bit lazy.
Yeah.
Because they can get away with it. And it frustrates me, because literally Ellesha could be, and she already does, luckily we've been more committed over the last few years, and it helps that she's testing booty programs and is, you know, now that she's not working for some arsehole or for another business or whatever. And now that we're working together, she's more involved in it, and she's, you know, more motivated to train and be healthier. Like, it's a part of our business. But I always say, like, if you committed like 6 months, 100%, you would see the craziest shape. But Ellesha doesn't like 100% all in. Like, she likes being able to have, like, every night she wants a little bit of chocolate or a little chalky milk drink, or like going out for lunch here and there. Like,
I think because like I am such a binging, like I binge and then I go into that, not so much regret, but then I take it too far and then I don't like the way I look. I think for me, it's important to have a little bit of something that I can enjoy, because then it's a bit easier.
Yeah.
To stay committed.
When you get pushed, you feel like you get pushed into a corner if you're in like a really strict thing.
Yeah, like for me, it's not good.
That's why people have tried to tell Ellesha to do like bikini competitions when she was younger. And I said to him, don't fucking encourage her, because I know what she's like.
Yeah.
Like, and it would ruin her like mental health, and it would give her like body dysmorphia, because she would get to this new crazy lean shape that she's never got to before, that's not sustainable, and then she would gain weight after the comp, because you can't be on like 900 calories for more than a few weeks without your whole period going away and your body going to like brain all fucked, like, and it's just not realistic. So I think for her it's just like a good lifestyle long term, but making small healthy changes, like a 70-30 80-20 lifestyle.
Yeah,
I think that's what she really likes.
Yeah.
How many sweet treats do you have on a daily, weekly basis?
So at the moment, I've been loving a bit of dark chocolate. There's this one I get from Aldi, and it's like dark chocolate with like a little bit of like caramel sea salt in it. And what I love about it is it comes in a big packet, but they're individually wrapped. So for me, it's little things like that, like
portion control.
Portion control. So if it's individually wrapped, I can eat it. I'm like, okay, I've had my portion.
Like one a night or something, and you can fit it into your calories. And we don't track calories and macros really anymore, because we know, like, from doing it for so long, and from having the meal plans from the app, like, we know where we're at, and we can just add in that chocolate and make it work into our macros. But yeah, if Ellesha had it her way, she wished she had like that's probably like that. What's that drug where everyone's been taking that drug now that makes you like shredded?
Oh, Ozempic.
Yeah, I think Ellesha would be someone who wishes she could just, even though Ozempic actually just makes you not hungry and feel a bit sick, but Ellesha would be someone who would be interested in like some special drug where she could have whatever she wanted to eat but still stay lean.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's just not how things work. You got to work hard to get the results. Not a question, but your wife is 100,000 out of 10. That's really nice. That's cool.
I always struggle with compliments.
She's
like,
so weird with compliments. She's like, I'm talking, we've been together for nearly 13 years now. Every day I give her a compliment. Every day I'll say something like, and they're usually pretty like, oh, your ass looks nice, or you look pretty, you're beautiful. Like, obviously they're body image stuff, but I also tell her all the time that she has the best personality. She's a really good listener. Like, I love the way that she's like, I love the way she is as a person. But I'll give her a really nice compliment. She'll put a dress on, we're about to go somewhere, and I'll give her a really nice compliment, and she just looks at me and goes like this. And I'm like, you meant to say thank you. You meant to give me a compliment back to me. That's how things work. Why every time I exercise I get dizzy? Or what to vomit even if I ate a banana or anything. So that used to happen to you.
Yeah, that sounds like a low blood pressure thing, or maybe an even like diabetic thing.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm no doctor or whatnot, but maybe it's worth testing your blood sugar.
Yeah.
Because I've been a pre-diabetic before, so on the borderline.
So because I trained clients for so many years, this would happen all the time. Especially, would always happen with a new client for their first session, and they wouldn't eat enough food, or they wouldn't be eating enough food normally, because their body was used to their day-to-day stuff on the laptop working, or at university or school doing what they do. a little bit of walking here and there, but they never strenuously exercise until they come and do a session with me. And we're just doing basic stuff like bodyweight Bulgarians, push-ups on the knees, learning how to hold core positions, like basic stuff. But basic for me is actually super advanced for them. And I have so many clients that would go like, their skin would go real white on their face and pale, and they would feel dizzy. And I knew straight away, I was like, fuck, got to get a banana or a little sugar lolly or whatever. And what that is their body's not used to the lactic, but also they can't handle like the insulin response. They're not used to it. And it's probably someone who's pre-diabetic, even though doctors don't like to tell you that. So when you get a diabetes check at the doctors, they won't tell you that you have diabetes until you already fucking have it. They won't tell you that you're close. You either fully have it or you don't. When it doesn't work like that, it's actually on this sliding scale where if you're pre-diabetic, but not diabetic yet, that's very unhealthy. You need to make a massive change in your lifestyle, massive change on the food, start adding in exercises. So what I would do for someone like this is just start doing longer walks and start with really light exercises and start low intensity and start adding a little bit more quality food like proteins and fats and like a little bit of healthy carbs pre and post exercise, just a small amount. Train your body to get used to the intensity before you go to a personal trainer and they just go all in, they smash you and you're like, wow, like I feel sick, I'm sore for a week. You're not going to want to go back to that person. Where was I? Here we go. How do you change exercise and diet around menstrual cycles? We've already kind of spoke about that. You don't need to clap.
We'll get rid of that one.
Oh. God. How long has it taken for you to achieve your goals? You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
That's just perfect response. She goes all weird. It's like the person's not even here.
Oh my God.
That was
I
a question.
I don't know what it is about compliments.
That was a question.
I feel like I almost feel if I accept it, I'm like...
That you're being egotistic?
Yeah, that's what it's about.
That's one value of Ellesha, and I don't think it's kind of like a value, but also a burden where she's the most humble person ever, literally. But also, on the other hand, she won't actually own when she's good and she won't own that she's good at something. She just stays in her like space in her shell, and like if someone gives her a compliment, she's like, yeah. Like she doesn't want to be seen. I think, I think it might come back from when you were in high school. Like Ellesha, I remember seeing Ellesha in like grade 9 or something. I yelled out jailbait or whatever. She was like, I just seen these legs from ages away and she looked really good. And she was like, she used to ride horses competitively. So she had this crazy glutes and legs. And she would get bullied because she was pretty when she was like in high school, like really bullied to the point where you stopped going to the school and like changed schools, or like you just hated that kind of attention. But maybe that's a part of the trauma. Like
maybe.
Because when the attention was on you, because guys would give you attention or girls would like have a go at you because you made them feel insecure or something like that. And then maybe you're like, I don't want to be like that. But when you become an adult and you're around people that love you or people that support you, like our followers and our clients, let them love you. Just like I say, let me love you. Let yourself be loved so then you can show love back.
Yeah, I've definitely got to work on that.
So if you don't say thank you like consciously and like actively, then people just think, why isn't she like enjoying what I like? That someone put their time in to give you a compliment.
Yeah.
But there's a question in there. How long did it take for you to achieve your goals or what you look like?
Geez, I feel like I still haven't achieved my goals. I feel like it's still every day, it's still an adventure, and yeah, one day we'll get there. But
I suppose for you, it's like, it's very kind of seasonal. Like, sometimes you'll be motivated and really going consistent with your training. Like you always eat quite good, like a little bit of snacking here and there, but you definitely have that kind of celebrity yo-yo kind of thing where you're like all in, especially around like coming up to summer because oh shit, I'm going to be in a bikini. And then around winter, you'll sometimes like lose that motivation to train as hard.
I think for me, I've figured it out. When I get to like a comfortable weight, or if I start liking the way I'm looking, that's when I'll do like a bit of a binge, because I'm like, okay, I'm happy with the way I look now. So now I get to, what's the word? Like celebrate.
You
and
celebrate
like,
the race before the finish line.
yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm out of shape again. And I'm like, oh, why did I do that? And
It's funny, when you say binge or out of shape, people are going to be yelling, going, oh my God, you're always in shape, Ellesha. And what do you mean binge? Like, people might be someone who actually have gone through an eating disorder. What I will say about Ellesha is she's really good at moderately like having the things she wants, even though she's like, I know I'll get better results if I don't have this chocolate bar, or I don't have, you know, this meal from a fast food restaurant or whatever. But I haven't ever seen Ellesha just spend a whole day just binging or doing any eating disorder habits like that. She doesn't regret.
No.
She goes in, she has a chocolate, or she goes to some fancy place that does crazy like bakery, croissant, almonds, whatever it is. And she doesn't regret it, and she doesn't get guilt about it or shame about it after, which is actually a good thing.
except for the time where I had a whole packet of Tim Tams and I didn't want Jackson to know, so I hid it in the bathroom and he found it one day.
I was going in there to grab something and I'm like, what the fuck's this? I'm like, a whole packet? Share that shit, bruh.
And he came out and he's like, what is this? And I was like, oh shit, like, thinking to myself, I forgot to put that in the bin.
I was actually more disappointed that you felt like you had to hide it from me, because I'm not. People think like I'd be controlling and stuff. I'm like, no, if you're going to have Tim Tams, I want Tams too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then he was
and I was also worried, like, why can't you just have it in moderation? But she was just like, I wanted to fuck the whole packet up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that's like kind of eating disordery habits where you're hiding it from people and you're sneaking it in packets in the car or the bin and stuff. And yeah, that's not good. I always say, like, just
be honest.
And I only ever say you shouldn't do that is because I know the science, what it's going to make you feel like the next day. And I know that if you do that a few times a week, it ends up blowing your calories out by 2,000 calories, and then you gain half a kilo or whatever body fat, and then you don't want to come to the beach with me and my friends and all of our friends because you don't feel comfortable. So to me, people think that I'm trying to control you. I don't care what you do, but I want you to come with me in summer and feel confident and feel comfortable. Like, if you felt comfortable at any weight, I wouldn't care, as long as you just come. But sometimes you'll stay home because you don't feel comfortable in your body image. I'm like, that's fucked. Like, that's when I'm like, okay, well, if you don't feel comfortable, what can I help with? And that's when I step in and try to help. And I think you're very lucky to have someone like me, but then it might seem like sometimes pressure, but it's not pressure from me, it's pressure on yourself. And I don't know how to change that, but I think it's just it's a learning process. Tips on what to eat to gain weight, as currently struggling to put on any weight.
I feel like I can't really answer this because I struggle to not eat.
Yeah, Ellesha's good at it. Like, for example, when I'm stressed, I don't eat and I lose muscle.
Yeah.
When Ellesha's stressed, she just watches TV series and eat, and she just feels comfortable.
I'll eat more than Jackson, basically.
Yeah, there's been times where Ellesha will eat more calories than me, and I'll be like, my face is all sunken in, and like, I'll like lose muscle and weight and be like shredded without even trying. And I'm like, oh, I've just been so stressed working on the business. So we're good. We meet each other in the middle and was like, hey, it's like, you always remind me to have, my breakfast, lunch and dinner at the right times. And I'm like, hey, you don't need to have 5 snacks. You don't need to go crazy. Like, we're eating good food. So
I think the answer for that too is, I think when you're obviously starting off and you're trying to put on muscle and you're trying to eat more food, you'll find when you start working out, I think your body will want more food and it will start getting easier. But at the start, it can feel a bit sickly, but just trust the process. And one of Jackson's tips is he likes to watch like a YouTube or TV while he's eating, and that will actually help him eat more.
Yeah, because I like struggle to eat sometimes, especially if I'm always just, we've got literally hundreds and hundreds of clients, and there's always something on my mind where I'm like, I could be better at this, I could provide more value, hundreds of DMs, emails. So like, I'm always thinking about that. And for me, if I just watch something on YouTube or something where I can just be like, okay, my attention's here, the food just goes down easy. And they've done some tests on this. Like, people who are overweight usually spend a lot of time eating their meals, watching something, which is not good. So if you want to try and eat less, then don't watch something. If you want to try and eat more, then watch something. Make sure you watch something that you enjoy. And also, don't be afraid to like sneak some high calorie stuff into your meal, because sometimes when you're eating, you feel like your stomach's so full and bloated. Put some like coconut oil or olive oil or butter or peanut butter. You know what I mean? I'm talking about things that are like really calorie dense, but they're really small in volume. And that's the secret to like bulking for someone who's struggling. And as Ellesha said, train first, like eat what you're normally eating, go train, and it's going to stimulate hunger. Your body's going to get used to it. And you can't just go from under eating for years to like absolutely overeating in 1 week. Your body's not used to that. You have to just gradually increase it and do your best doing that. Do you feel that you have an image to withhold when going out in public? Does it put you off?
Yep. I still struggle to this day, and Jackson always reminds me that it's all in my head, which I understand, but because I am your wife and because you are in the fitness industry, I do feel like there is a high pressure to look a certain way, because...
But you had this same pressure before we even had Booty by Jax.
Yeah.
Like you've always had this pressure. And I think that even if you're with a tradie, like you would have that same pressure. I think it's a lot of it is actually like, yes, right now in our business, you should feel the most pressure because you're like the booty and the face, the female face of Booty by Jax. It should be the max pressure, but it seems like you're pretty comfortable in yourself compared to when I was just a personal trainer at the local gym. You would feel way more intimidated just coming into the gym with me because you thought that you had to look a certain way because you were dating me. But the problem is, I think it's my belief is like, I think even if you're with like a tradie or a fucking council worker, I think you would still have that same pressure on yourself. I think it's a self-love.
Yeah.
It's a trauma thing, I think, from the high school, from being picked on for being beautiful. Like I think you try to make yourself feel small and not to bother any other people, but I don't like that. I'm always trying to make you feel, I want you to wear better stuff and bright. People always ask, like, how do you feel comfortable putting photos of your wife up in a bikini? Or why do you, like, some people ask sometimes, negative people like, oh, why do you post photos of your wife looking good in a dress or a bikini? I'm like, because I want her to feel good. Like, I'm the opposite of those guys that try to hide their partners online or take shit photos of their partner or whatever. It's like, if you don't take good photos of her, someone else will, bro. So start taking good photos. But I want to lift her up. I'm not intimidated by any other person meeting her. Like, I know my value and I know our love and I trust her. But more importantly, I'm like, I just want to push you to be the best person and feel your best. And if that means that I lose you in that process, then that's fine. It wasn't meant to be. But for me, I'm like, I want everyone around me, my friends, my clients, I want everyone to do well. I'm not scared of that. And I think it's something that you just need to work on a little bit. And maybe there's things I need to work on too. So do people recognize Ellesha at the gym and approach her? How does she feel about that?
No, they more approach you. They know you.
But then they ask me, oh, can I get a photo with Ellesha in it as well?
Yeah, I suppose so. It's only happened a couple of times.
I suppose from their reaction videos, like you're not in some of the content, so people will approach me. They're used to hearing my voice as well because I do so much of that content. But most people who follow us on Instagram and that are our clients, they want to talk to you as well.
Yeah.
So it's more like when people first follow, they mostly just like, I had a lady that came into the camera store yesterday, full nervous, shaking. She was in her 50s and I was like, that's so awesome. And she's like, can we get a selfie? And she was like talking to me and she was like, I started doing your program and look at my ass. I've never had an ass before. And she was so good. And she was like shaking, trying to take the photo. I really love that. And I'm used to it. Like it happens at the shopping center. That lady that had her baby. And instead of saying anything to me, because her baby was asleep, she just walked in front of me and was like, shh. And I was like,
I remember that.
And she goes, yeah, she's like, I follow you guys. I love your content. She was like whispering to me. I was like, this is a bit of ASMR, but I loved it. Got to meet her baby, give her a hug, get a photo with her. Like that time we were down in Ocean Street and those younger girls stopped us.
Yeah.
We were having dinner and
that felt weird.
That was early on with Booty by Jax, but they asked for you to
But
be in the photo.
that was so nice.
Yeah.
A lot of like screaming and It was nice.
But the main question is, you're sweet with that. Like you don't
Yeah.
get weird about that. Like
No.
it's when people point at us when we're in public and talk to each other and then don't say anything to us.
Yeah.
Like you can tell they're talking about us, and I can understand it might be intimidating, but you know, it's not. Well, for me, I'm just like, just say hello. How many times per week glute exercises are necessary to see results in 2 to 3 months?
I reckon 3.
Yeah.
3 days per week. That's what I do.
Yeah,
3
yeah.
days. 3 days or like 2 days booty.
People never believe.
1 day upper. I do like 3 times a day. 3 times a week, or like 4 max.
People never believe me when I say that you barely train 3 times a week sometimes.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 3 times a week is a good week for you. People always
Yeah.
go, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, yeah, but it's the quality of the exercises. You eat really good protein. Like you hit easily, Ellesha easily hits her protein macros. Like we eat steak, chicken, lamb. Like 3 eggs in the morning. Like we got avocado. Like you hit your macros so well. So people might think, oh my God, you have really good genetics. It's like, yes, she has decent genetics, but you eat really good. So when you do train, you do quality sessions, and you're not just going to wreck it all by eating really bad, or you're not going into a deficit, or we don't drink, don't go to any crazy stressful environments. Like we're very much just at home all the time. How does she cope with the attention to get from that you get? Oh, this is a good one. How does she cope with the attention you get from other women?
Oh, as in you?
Yeah, how does she, as in you,
Me?
cope with attention that I get? If people don't realize I don't actually get that much attention from women, but like when I was personal training and stuff, and I have female clients, like, how do you cope with that?
Fine.
We just trust each other. It's not even a thing that we have to even talk about.
That's your job. That's what you do. There's no weirdness about it.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll do these videos where I'll have clients that come in and we'll do the epic exercise videos, and I'm getting these epic booty angles. People don't realize Ellesha's usually filming it or hanging out with these girls in between filming it. I think people love to put a story in their head and create drama because a video looks a certain way. It's kind of like all the old like party photo analogy. It's like you go to a party, you have a girlfriend or whatever, you're walking past someone at the party and they take a photo of you with the flash on and it looks like you're dancing with someone, and then you're getting grilled by someone. They're like, what's this photo? Who are you with? You're like, I don't even know. I don't even remember that. It's like that. Like people have their own conception of what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you eat when you are too tired, too late to cook dinner?
Well,
what do you eat when you're too tired and too late to cook dinner?
Well, I always cook dinner around 5.
Well, sometimes a bit later, like 6.
But a slow cooker, that's always a good one. Chuck it on in the morning. It's ready at night.
I think
Slow cooker ribs.
I think those people,
So good.
like this question, the people that get the Uber Eats, that go get fast food.
Nah, it's never good. I've gotten it a few
just not
times.
worth
They've
it.
messed up my order. Like Macca's, just shit.
Yeah.
I
We have a
don't know.
KFC like 5 minutes. We have a McDonald's and a KFC 5 minutes from our house. Sometimes you can smell the KFC in the air when you're driving past on the way home. And it's just like, I think about it and go, I'm going to regret this. And not because of the calories, but just because it's so much better to put a proper meal on. Like those crazy salads that you make that everyone loves.
Oh, so easy.
That pumpkin feta salad. Then we do like lamb in the air fryer. So get yourself an air fryer if you're tired.
Air
and
fryer is good.
Air fryer is
Just chuck
good.
the temperature on and it'll be ready in like 15 minutes.
It's so lazy too. The timer just goes off. It does everything itself.
Yeah.
Or just put a barbecue on put a barbecue on the steak.
Put a steak on the
Put a steak
barbie.
on the barbie, or that's the most Aussie thing ever. Wow, fucking hell, just quit that.
What do they call it? Put a
Shrimp on the barbie.
shrimp on the barbie.
But yeah, just put a steak on. Like don't be lazy about your food, because you're gonna have to work 10 times as hard in the gym to like to work it off. Not even just work it off, to like feel better. Like it's gonna make you feel like shit. Do you exercise? Any negative side effects after your breast augmentation? Or do you experience any negative side effects after your breast augmentation?
No, I feel great. I think I feel better.
Yeah.
Because my old one was ruptured on the left, and I actually got the photos back, and it was really cool to see. It had like fully, I don't even know, it's like they syringed out all the goo and it was like green.
Yeah, her implant had like broken apart, and the liquid that was inside the implant had been
Capsule.
coming out, and it was only held by scar tissue holding it in place. Otherwise, it would be like flopping all like going into the skin. So you're much healthier now.
Yeah.
People have this misconception that like everyone who has, everyone now, like, because all these influencers are getting their boobs removed saying they got sick from it or whatever. And it's like eating vegetable oil is probably just as fucking bad, but no one's like not going to McDonald's or not going to like.
Also, everyone's different. Like, not everyone can handle certain things. Like, there's people that reject piercings, and like sometimes things just don't work for people. Like, there's stories out there that people do get breast implants and your body can reject them.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to get them removed. Or if you do have those symptoms, like, it's not going to agree with everyone. You know?
I think having, birth control is probably more damaging than the breast implants, but that's just, I'm not a doctor and I haven't researched on that, but I just think that there's so many things that can be changing hormones. Not everybody who gets implants is going to get breast implants illness. It's probably, I think the surgeon actually told us it's like a crazy low percentage of actual.
Can be a placebo thing too. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but yeah, it can be.
They see their favorite influencer saying the reason why they gain weight and the reason why they've got acne or whatever is because of their implants, and they think it's from themselves, but it's because you're eating like shit, you're not sweating, you're not working out, you're living in the darkness, like you're on your phone all the time. I'm sure if you actually change your lifestyle, you'd feel a lot better. But then there's a rare chance, if you're not sure, then go get it looked at, like, of course. For someone with a fast metabolism, what exercises would you recommend for them?
I feel like that's a you question.
Yeah,
Skip that.
I'll answer it. The fast metabolism thing is pretty bullshit. Like, you either don't eat enough, you know, you might genetically be able to get a little bit more calories than your friend or whatever, but at the end of the day, you don't have a fast metabolism. You basically aren't eating enough to build muscle, and you're not doing the right exercises to build muscle. So it's not the exercises you should be choosing. You should be eating more food, protein, carbs, fats, or whatever, the right stuff. That's what we do for our clients, and doing very simple exercises that aren't like, you don't want to be running on the running on the treadmill to try and build muscle and then under eating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just basic. What workouts do you do when you're on your period? Any eating changes? We've already answered that.
Yep.
Thoughts on gua sha? Do you know what a gua sha is? That chin thing?
Yeah. I've never used one. I don't know about it, but then I suppose it does like move blood flow. Is that the way it works?
I don't know. It's pretty bullshit.
I don't know. I don't know.
I reckon it's pretty bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do know some people get it done on their muscles for like, to create like a inflate. So when you get a massage, everyone thinks it's like this brilliant recovery, but what it does is it actually just kind of creates more blood flow in the area for recovery. But at first you're actually in more pain. And that gua sha thing, you're like doing it on your chin to give you a better jawline. It's like, no, you need to lose body fat. Like,
yeah.
Like, if your face is fat, your face is fat. Like, doing gua sha every day is not going to help that. Like, I did a thing on Instagram recently where I talked about one of my clients who lost a lot of body fat from their face and how the face transformation was really amazing. That went pretty viral. And that didn't happen from using one of those fucking rocks. That's happened from like eating better.
Just get a rock from the backyard.
Yeah.
That'll do the same thing.
How do you work on your self-esteem? Some advice.
That's something I'm still working on.
You just
Day to
buy
day.
more things online.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing is shopping and eating.
Shopping and eating.
And watching my favourite shows.
But yeah, to answer that better, because I know you very well, it's like having like a hot girl day, like where you put a tan on or wear something that looks good, and you go and do some boss bitch shit. Like, you go and run some errands and like get up and get your fucking world moving, get your life moving, do some cool shit, go do a workout. Like, then you feel sexy.
Yep.
Like, confidence
Definitely.
comes from doing shit. Like, everyone's online trying to fucking listen to audiobooks on how to be more confident. It's like, go outside.
Yeah. I think a self-love day is good. Chuck a tan on, do your nails, get your nails done, do what you got to do. all for that.
Who's your female inspo? I love you guys.
Female inspo. Oh, I don't know.
You don't really have. I don't know.
No.
I was thinking when I asked this, and I was looking at you, I'm like, you don't like
inspo.
You don't
Fitness?
like follow girls and go, oh my god, you used to when you were younger.
Yeah, but then I found that was just too toxic for me. So I actually unfollowed a lot of.
Only because a lot of these girls, you found out they've got a BBL.
Yeah.
And they're getting lipo, or they're on fucking Anavar, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all the girls that you looked up to were Photoshop, BBL, steroids, blah, blah, blah. Like, none of them were actually natural. So
Actually, a girl that I reckon is really good inspo, and she works freaking hard at the gym is Diana Comforti. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
Diana Comforti. She's a
natural
beast,
too.
and she's so real. She doesn't wear makeup in the gym. She's sweating. She's got sweat under her arm. She's got sweat in the crotch. Like, she's so real, I love that. And she just goes hard.
That's the future. I do believe, like, going forward, more and more males and females will be inspired by more, like, real people.
Yeah.
Like, seeing the struggles and the real shit. Thoughts on intermittent fasting? You never fasted once in your life.
I can't go hours without.
Can't do it. Yeah, you fast between dinner and breakfast.
Yeah, when I'm sleeping.
So Ellesha's never really intermittent fast, and I'll answer that. I just don't think that, like, for females, it's just not as, depending if you have some crazy gut health issues or some autoimmune thing, like, it's different. But I'm saying for the 99% of people that are watching this, intermittent fasting for females isn't going to be easy, and you don't get the same response as men. Like, men, I find that men with the hunting kind of biology background, that it's easier for men to fast, and they do quite well on fasting. I fasted for a few years back in the day when I was between competitions and stuff, and I really liked it. Really good for my productivity with ADD and just not having food in my system. I could just focus on what I was doing until like 1 p.m. But then I would binge like all day to get my calories up. Not binge, but I'd be eating fucking meals every hour to try and get my calories up.
And it's been proven too, I think, scientifically, that intermittent fasting is not good for females. It really affects the hormones, and it actually can affect like fertility, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think this is for most. I think the study was done on like most females, like overall.
It's not recommended, basically.
How do you deal with bloating?
Bloating? Oh, I just deal with it. Hey, or I take digestive enzymes.
Or you change what? You figure out what actually gives you that really bad, like, well, you've got normal bloating from eating food, and you've got like cramping, fucked up stomach from eating something that you shouldn't have eaten that your body doesn't like. Then you have to write that down in the notes.
Yeah.
And start making changes to what you're eating, because you can't eat what your friend's eating, or you can't eat what everyone else is eating.
Yeah, I'll go straight to like a peppermint tea. That's when you know, I'll be like, I need peppermint tea.
Would love to see a day on Ellesha's plate.
I feel like the day on a plate thing, I get why people do it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, my day-to-day is pretty different. And also I feel like they can kind of be toxic as well, because what I eat obviously isn't what you should be eating. Everyone's so different. So I feel like when you see that, I don't know, I think it's a bit controversial. People
have been asking for this for years. They're always asking, can you post more about what Ellesha eats, whatever, because they want to look like you, they like what you look like. But when Ellesha's eating, she doesn't want to take a photo of her food.
I just want to eat. I'm not one of these like, oh, make it look pretty, take a photo. I'm like, no, just let me eat.
She's like grumpy. She's like, I just want to fucking eat. She's like the opposite of an influencer. She's like, you'll notice if you go onto Ellesha's Instagram, she doesn't post or anything, just because she focuses on our business, and she edits all of my reaction videos, and she's running a lot of the company. She doesn't want to be an influencer. She doesn't even really want to be known as a person. But I say to her, like, hey, people want to see more of you. So now we're here on a fucking podcast with 3 cameras and fucking 4K and shit. It's all happening. Next one. What does your day on a plate? Another one. What does your 45-minute workout look like?
Get in there, 5-minute stretch. Go straight into like either RDL or a Bulgarian, do some hip thrusts, 3 sets of everything for like 8 to 10 reps. This is for glute day.
5 minutes on the Stairmaster.
5 minutes on this, not always.
I always say, well, your program's got 5 minutes on the Stairmaster and she's walking out of the door, like, catch you later.
Because like I walk the dog twice a day too. So sometimes like I will, sometimes I won't.
You got to get into zone 2. Get into zone 2. It's good for your heart.
Yeah.
What do you eat to help with your sweet tooth?
Dark chocolate. No, actually, sorry. The Naked Harvest Moon Milk, the chocolate one, game changer. It's magnesium chocolate, hot chocolate, I guess it tastes like. And I've been using, because we got a coffee machine recently.
Well,
that's another thing. The Breville Barista Express, so good. I've been frothing the milk and doing the hot chocolate, and it tastes so good.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it just curbs the cravings.
I'm like not a... Coffee just gives me anxiety. I'm not sure if any of you can like comment below, like, what does coffee do to you? Because for Ellesha, she has coffee, she feels great or whatever. On a rare occasion, it might push her over a little bit if she has too much, if someone like giving her a bit of anxiety. But me, like coffee just, I'll go up and then I'll crash and then I'll feel fucking weird. I don't think it benefits me at all. I've been trying to have decaf. So I kept saying, we're not buying a fucking fancy, expensive coffee machine. And then within a day, I was like, just happy wife, happy life. Like I've been a lot softer the last few months. Like get whatever you want. Let's go get it. And then I'm having decafs and I'm kind of getting used to it. And the house always smells like a fucking cafe.
Smells so good. Love it.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Why is it so hard to gain muscle?
Not eating enough, I would say. Look at your food. See how much protein. Protein, I think, is the most important macro, if I'm correct.
Yeah, like you need some fats as well, but like protein and fats. And I just think just overall, like not eating enough. And if you're struggling with what to eat, I keep saying this, but honestly, it's the best way to do it. Like hire someone like what we do as a personalized meal plan with a nutrition team. So we can teach you how you're meant to eat and what you're meant to eat, and that you can eat different things that taste good. We just got to have the right amount of food each day. And then we can teach you how you're meant to train and the exercise selection and the technique. And let's just, you don't cut your hair yourself. You don't do surgery on yourself. Like, why are you trying to do all this scientific, like nutrition is so technical and training can be really technical as well. So don't try to do it all yourself. How tall are you?
I think 165 centimeters.
Yeah, around that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what was on my license like years ago.
I am lifting weights, but my tummy grow too. Sorry. That's kind of normal if you're in a calorie surplus. You're eating more calories than you're burning.
Yeah. Don't focus too much on that. Just focus on building muscle first. And, you know, once you've built a bit of muscle, you can go on to like a bit of like a cut or like maintenance, and that'll help you burn fat.
We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more, and then we're going to wrap it up. Yeah. How do you cope with life after high school?
I hated high school. Absolutely hated it. I actually never really attended, to be honest. I'd always say to mum that I had anxiety, and yeah, I just didn't cope with high school. So I'm loving life now more than high school. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like this weird thing if people love high school and they have good friends. Like I mostly liked high school, especially because I left high school in like the end of year 11 or something, and I ended up coming back a month into grade 12. Long story short, just came back, tried to do an electrical apprenticeship, didn't like it, but then I just partied and enjoyed it. And I flourished in like social environments and school and stuff. You know, there was troubles, fights, and you know, there was still some bullying or getting in trouble, whatnot. But overall, I really liked it. And then you have this weird time after high school where you feel like lost because you're meant to be doing this job and you hate the job. But what I will tell you is you're meant to go through that.
Yeah.
Like that's getting you ready to become an adult, because right now you're not an adult. If you're not enjoying being out of high school, it's because you're still stuck in that high school mindset. And you got to go through like some tough times to make your skin thicker and to make you better as a person. And adult life just sucks a little bit until you get to your like mid-20s or until you figure it out, you know. And I feel like being 30 is the best. It's the fucking best. Like we're always like, oh, it's getting late, 7 o'clock, gotta go to bed. You know what I mean?
It's funny, like when you're younger, you know, your parents come in or whatnot and they're like, it's time for bed, school tomorrow. And you're like, oh, you know, you sit up on MSN till like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. talking to people. And now it's like you can go to bed whenever you want. And like by 7:38, I'm like out to it.
Turn the brightness down like the last, put the brightness
No
on the
bright
TV
lights.
to like 10%, red lights around the house, like orange lights.
No
or
bright
whatever.
lights, always like, no phones, nothing.
What do you enjoy doing for yourself, hobbies and self-care wise?
I feel like I need to find a hobby. And I keep saying this, but I just don't do it. But self-care, I love putting a fake tan on, getting like a pedicure, a massage, binging my favorite shows.
I was going to say your hobbies are like catching up with, like, you know, you've got friends that you catch up with.
Yep.
But your hobbies is like catching up with like the new shows on Netflix and Amazon and everything. That's kind of like your hobby, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like a lot of people think they need to have like an outdoor physical hobby, because I surf, bit of Muay Thai, like sport or whatever, but like there's nothing wrong. Like if you walk the dog in the morning and the afternoon, you do your workouts 3 or 4 times a week, whatever you do around that, and then you've got your work, make sure you make enough money to survive, which is becoming harder and harder at the moment. But around that, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I do want to get into something though. I was doing a little bit of reformer Pilates at one point, and I did like that, but just got expensive. So
You just got so bored too.
yeah,
She doesn't like yoga or Pilates. She wants to go in, just fucking go all in the gym and then get out of there within like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
She doesn't like fucking around. If the workout program goes for more than an hour, she's just like, I'm out of here, I'm over it, I'm done. Like, why does it need to take this long? She's not like a bodybuilder, fitness influencer type of chick. Like she's a fringe fitness girl that just wants the result but doesn't want to have to do
the hard work.
No, you'll do the hard work if it's short. It's a short and like effective.
Yeah.
You're a big reason why you got me to build better programs, because I was making programs 5-6 years ago for bodybuilders, like an hour and a half, all in crazy boring meal plans, and then you're like, I'm not going to eat that. I'm not going to eat chicken and broccoli. I'm not going to train for 2 hours or an hour and a half. And then I made better programs and I made tastier meal plans, and then it worked for you. And I was like, oh, wait up, everyone's more like you than me.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare to have someone who's done 7 or 8 bodybuilding competitions and all that. Like you're a normal person. One thing you cherish the most, how do you stay confident, and your favorite music?
My favorite music.
Start with the first one. One thing you cherish the most.
Family.
Family?
The
I
dog.
thought you were going to say honey. She wanted to say honey, but she's like, is that family? Is mum and dad listening? Her brain was like, dog, 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 dog. I knew for sure, like, liar, family, my ass, honey. She's obsessed with honey, our dog. And of course, she's the best. She's made you so happy.
Yeah.
Little anxiety dog.
Yep. Yeah. Honey.
Favorite music?
Bit of rap. Depends on my mood.
Ellesha can like
is
rap.
it EDM?
EDM, bit of electric dance music.
Yeah, on the way to the gym.
Loves a bit of Kygo, Chainsmokers.
Yeah, a bit of everything. Don't mind a bit of like Machine Gun Kelly here and there.
There's a side of Ellesha that no one's seen yet, and usually a little bit of alcohol will help this. But if she's in the right mood, she can rap a whole dirty rap song from start to finish. Like that WAP song and shit. And she's like, wow, she goes and she starts getting into like, she gets black, eh? She gets right into it. Like she gets real crazy, and I love it because I'm like, what is this person? It's her other side. Like we have a friend who has like another name we call her when she's drinking, and you have like that as well, like a different side.
Yeah.
How to navigate time workouts when you're a primary caregiver, 4-year-old and a disabled hubby. That's a hard one, but it probably goes back to what you were saying. Like you don't like training long hours, and we also do home programs. So
yeah, home program's good, and we just released a dumbbell only program as well.
Oh yes, we haven't even spoken. That was one of the. We should have done a list. That was one of the main. I just talked about the sauna. That was one of the main updates. Was a new program. We've just released a dumbbell only program, and Ellesha was the main person that built this out. Like it's all videos of Ellesha at home in the lounge room You don't need anything too crazy. You just need 1 or 2 sets of dumbbells, some light ones for upper body and some heavier, slightly heavier ones for lower body. And you can have it done within 30 to 40 minutes. And there's a 3-day program.
It's just a 3-day.
It's for people just like this that don't have much time, that have got a lot of responsibility, 30 minutes 3 times a week. If you can't make that work, I bet you the person who wrote this or people that are like this, they say they don't have enough time, but they spend 4 or 5 hours on their phone every day. Let me see your time on your phone usage. That's enough. That was good. That was really good. There's a few more. I'll screenshot there, but that's enough. And God, see, I try not to talk too much because...
You're long-winded today.
So are you. It's harder when you know why? Because when someone asks you a question about nutrition, it fucking depends.
Yeah.
And you have to if I do it the way I would do it on the Instagram React, it's like calorie deficit next, calorie surplus next. But I'm not explaining anything to anyone. They're not getting any value out of that. Or they're like, easy for him to say. So yes, I'm long-winded, but context is so important when answering for different situations. And I think you've realized that with some of your questions as well. It's not so simple.
Definitely.
All right.
Cool.
Last episode did really well. We got back into top 20 Australian podcasts. So let's go hard on this episode. Please comment, share.
Let us know what you want us to talk about next.
We want to do a dress up episode. Maybe like a Dallas Cowboys. No, but what's that dress? Do you have that shirt at home that you want to wear, cowboy dress up thing or whatever you were saying?
Oh, with the tassels.
Yeah, the tassels. And then I want to do a party one where we're have a little toque and we dressed up and we can wear sunnies and do a fun one. I want to do something different, but let us know if you want to see a fun dress up styled podcast or a little 420 podcast that's legal in a legal country with a medical certificate. That'd be really cool. But yeah, thank you so much. See you later.